All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, we're good.
Hit it.
Come on. This is JD's podcast. JD's Brother Boost podcast. Come on. We're gonna sit and relax and tell you all sorts of stories. Talk about life and a little sports. You know we're gonna play some games. And this and the next, you know we're gonna have a laugh. We're gonna have a laugh. We're gonna have a laugh. This is the podcast. This is the podcast. This is the pod.
Is that one of Stoff's fever dreams during his sickness last week? Is that what happened?
That is the dope.
The dope.
That is the dope
theme.
remix.
Did you just do this during our time off?
I did it.
Our period away.
So here's what's been happening with me. I've got this new software I'm trying to work out.
Right.
And I was just messing around with it last night. And I came up with that groove, and I thought, I should do something with this.
Nice.
Will it make my voice sound better?
It could. It could very well.
Damn.
My plan is to add to that as we go on. I'll still use. We'll use the other themes. I know people get very.
People get angry. They get protective of their themes,
which I really appreciate. I mean, they like something about it, but
we like to mix it up.
Mix it up. That was the whole plan. At the
throw
beginning.
it in every few weeks, right?
Exactly.
I liked it.
Welcome back to the Rubber Boots podcast. After have we been off 2 weeks or 1 week?
I think so. We've
Feels
taken
like
a lot
a
of
long
vacations
time.
in 2020.
What episode are we way behind on our quota? The CRTC quota, they expect us to put together like 30, 35 a year.
20.
Oh, all right. We're okay.
We're that high?
Well,
That's the voice of Stoff, everybody.
We're up there.
We after 4 years of doing this, it all fell apart when Stoff finally got sick for the first time.
Yes.
And we realized that truly we can't do anything without
nothing,
him.
no.
We are stuck.
There was no plan B.
Permanent hiatus.
No, there was no guy that could be found. It just ended.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, Stoff, a lot of people were chirping on Twitter about the corona. We don't want to make light of the corona because it's probably going to get us all before it's done.
Mm-hmm.
But I defeated it.
But you had it, right? You beat it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I had it. So I actually went to the doctors in the middle of all this because I was a little concerned if it was corona or not.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a direct answer. My doctor told me she thinks it's very highly unlikely that I have it.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
However, she was wearing one of those protective masks while she talked to me, and I had to wear one too. So I don't know how confident she was.
But I learned through this whole thing that the protective mask
Don't always
is
work.
only for preventing you from giving it to someone. It's not going to prevent you from getting it.
Right.
So the people wearing the mask are actually good people trying to save others.
Right.
But they all think that they're saving themselves, so it's actually kind of
I am a hero.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because it comes from droplets, right? Which is a really polite way of saying when people, like, spit on you or some of that stuff
Coughing or
comes on you.
sneezing.
As a lisper, I'm a deadly weapon.
Wait a minute, Stoff. You said you're not sure that you might have it. You said have. You didn't say had. So what's going on?
I'm trying to keep you on edge, buddy.
Wow.
Is it transmittable like the entire time? Like you know how a cold, by the end of a cold, it's probably not contagious.
I think it's like the flu, I would imagine.
Right. Yeah. So here's my my thing.
Really,
by the way,
really well informed talk here.
Brooksy is.
I guess that's what I'm saying, Brooksy.
She's obsessed with the coronavirus.
Is she?
Of course she is.
Oh yeah. She texts me 20 times a day with updates on how many people. She is very fearful of the coronavirus.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm playing pretty cool with it.
I'm a big believer that we're going to be playing like sports in empty stadiums somewhere in the next couple of months here.
You think so?
This is what they're saying.
Well, they're doing that already in Europe.
It's lunacy to think that it's not going to be everywhere in North America. It's just you can't. Okay, I listen to the New York Times podcast, The Daily, which is quite informative.
Of course, you drop that every episode, really.
Yes.
Well, I like to promote good things.
Yes, James is well read.
They aren't doing that for you.
I'm not bragging. It's not like Merge. So anyway, they did a piece on the first guy who had it in Seattle. So he came back from that Chinese province.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and this is like when there was, and he hears on the news that there's 30 cases in China. So we're talking 6-8 weeks, whatever that was ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he goes in and tests positive for it. But I guess by all indications, they didn't do much. Yeah, you have it and go home or whatever. And he went home. But now all the people that have passed away so sadly in that nursing home in Washington, they have traced they've traced it back to him. So, but it wasn't directly to him. It was him to another person, 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 to another person. Finally, it gets to this old age home. So somewhere in between there's about 10 other infected people that passed it on, and all those people have infected other people. So it's going to come, but hopefully it won't be too bad. We'll be all okay, right?
Yeah, but it's kind of like just a cold, just a bad cold.
Well, not for everybody though.
But that's the thing. It takes out the.
But you make a good point.
It's like they say the actual flu kills a lot more people per year than this will. So,
but that's always like when it'll be like sharks kill like 80 people a year and coconuts kill like 3,000. Sort of like it doesn't make any sense.
Where did you hear that?
That's one of those Uber facts. It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Like coconuts falling from trees. But I'm not sure you're right about that stuff because the death rate of this thing so far is like 3.7%, and the death rate of flu is like 0.1%. So yeah, a lot more people get the flu. But if this thing spreads and that death rate continues, then the death rate from this would be much higher.
Yes.
Downer.
Sorry about that.
But
we won't talk about the corona the entire podcast.
Like I saw a thing like 38% of people think that coronavirus comes from corona.
The drink.
Yeah,
you know what?
It's actually hurt beer sales.
Their numbers are down. Yes,
I'm trying to prop them back up on my own.
You know what I'm saying?
That's lunacy.
It is lunacy.
People are freaking out there. Have you seen the lineups at Costco? Even in Canada,
they ran out of toilet paper at Costco.
My wife did say we need to get some more pasta.
So Brooksy wants to get the emergency. She wants to get the bunker mentality. She wants to buy like a month's worth of food.
Yeah.
Just so we have it. And so she's starting to stock up. And she was showing me these internet sites
This seems something that would be up Brooksy's alley.
She was showing me the sites where you can buy the survival kits.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like, this is the greatest scam ever. They sell like a survival kit. So you probably get about $30 of food for $189, right? But it comes in a box that says survival kit.
Wow.
So you feel a lot better. And then she said to me the other day, should we have built like one of those bunkers underneath our house like some people have? And then I started to think, that would have been pretty awesome.
Wow.
Have a little bunker, like a hidden bunker under the floor where you could go down. Just be like you could make it like a guy.
But would you use the bunker all the time?
Yeah, I'd use it for
Then
other
it wouldn't
stuff.
be like a bunker.
Oh, it'd just be a room.
Yeah.
Really deep in the basement.
Like a deep basement.
It'd be like a lower version of the basement.
It'd be like a $400,000 basement is what it'd be.
Do you think that there's any chance that we'll be at the Masters and there'll be no people allowed?
That would be amazing.
It's a month from now.
It would be my favorite Masters ever.
It would be fun, wouldn't it?
The big thing, a part of my job down there is avoiding people.
Getting through crowds because you have to run all over the golf course.
And if there was nobody out there, it would be a dream.
What do you think it would be like on television? Or let's say the Stanley Cup final.
I heard some people saying that the Augusta's all about the roars, so it would suck. But I think it'd be pretty cool. Like, not every year, but 1 year.
But what about?
I just think it would suck for me and Lester to go to Augusta for our first time.
that would be terrible.
Yeah, but you'd be able to talk to the players.
No.
I'm sure they're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Would they allow the media even? Maybe they wouldn't even allow us in. We would just
got someone to record history, James.
Yeah, I think you have to. That would be you, Puffy.
Wow.
But what about if we go to like an NHL playoff game with no fans in there? It would be so weird. It would be like be watching beer league.
That would suck.
Don't forget, it's happened, right? Remember the riots in Baltimore, and they had to play that baseball game with no fans,
right?
Or most Argos games.
I don't remember that.
Just a couple years ago.
That's too soon.
Hey, you should have gone with the Florida Panthers there, buddy.
Exactly.
Wow.
It was an Orioles game, right? A couple years ago, and that was because of the riots.
The riots, yeah, and they said no. They had a curfew, or not? Sorry, they had a what's it called?
So it wasn't because people were throwing stuff in the stands the game before they were punishing them?
There was that much violence. They just said they want everybody off the streets.
Right.
They just
There was some riots going on in Baltimore, right?
Yeah, that's right. They locked it down. They just locked down the city. So
and that
was
weird watching that.
Yeah.
But baseball is kind of a quiet game anyway.
Yeah, baseball.
Are you okay there, kid?
No, I'm really bad.
So what happened? You kinked your net sleeping?
I slept on my neck funny, I guess, and it's really bad.
I used to happen to me all the time, but I've gotten better. You need to see my chiro.
Yeah?
He will take care of you.
Really?
He'll crack that thing, and then you'll get addicted.
Oh, I don't like the crack.
Oh, it's like cocaine.
Is it good?
Yeah.
It's like you just
better than sex.
You sure this wasn't some kind of construction room incident?
Well,
perhaps.
It's.
I wish.
Once you get your neck cracked, it is the most addictive thing in the world.
Is it?
Oh, it feels so good. You crave it a little bit.
Like
you want to go back.
Cracking my
I fantasize about my chiropractor.
Really?
His name's Reagan, Dr. Reagan Harper. Because
Reagan. See, that could be not dual set.
He's a man.
Okay.
Reaganomics.
He's
what he does.
He's a good guy, and he cracks my neck, and it feels.
How many times do you go a year?
Well, you see, I've been pretty good the last 6 months, so I haven't gone. But once it gets to golf season, I'll start having to go every couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it feels really good,
It does.
honestly. Or just get a massage.
Yeah, I should.
Owen, our cameraman, is getting a masseuse down at our house in Augusta this year.
Really?
So you guys should come this year
Yeah.
because we're going to have we're having a masseuse, is it a live-in masseuse?
No, they're just coming for one night.
Wow.
But we were
Maybe
doing like
two,
a sign-up sheet,
if
right?
there's enough of us.
Did you get on the sign-up sheet?
I believe I put my name in for a session.
This person's going to be exhausted.
Yeah, that's the thing. You want to get in early. You don't want to be in hour 4.
I talked to a masseuse. I have a masseuse. And in fact, if you guys want to, if you're looking for a masseuse, I have a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good company. But no more than 5 or 6 people a day for an hour.
Yeah.
You
what I
could
would
only
think.
do so much.
It's got to be one of the most physically hard things in the world to do. If
Yes.
you're doing deep body massage. and all that.
Now, you also have things like if you have a low table, then you use your force of gravity and whatnot to help out and everything. But
I only go see Ethiopian masseuses now.
Oh.
Remember?
Oh, yeah, you did go to one
Yeah,
there.
take those towels right off.
that's right.
And bump and grind up against everything. Let's get to the week that was, brought to you by iDrinkCoffee.com.
Let's discuss the week that was with James Duffy and the Rubber Boots Podcast crew.
Forgot to welcome our guest. We have a guest here today. Her name
Thank
is
you.
Megan.
I'm glad to be here.
No, not you.
Oh,
Her name is Megan, and she's an intern here at the network, and she's interested in podcasting, so she came to visit us. And we're going to have her on. We'll have her on at the end.
That's awesome.
Why wouldn't we?
Why
Right?
wouldn't we?
why wouldn't we have her on?
Throw them into the deep end.
Yeah, let's see how she can handle the podcast if that's what she wants to do with the career.
Megan, welcome to the Rubber Boots Podcast.
Didn't we
She's
used
not
to have
on
an,
yet.
Didn't we
Oh.
used to have an intern?
Sorry.
Yeah, Zach.
Oh, yeah, I thought we were
Zach
going to have
Phillips.
a New
Yeah.
Orleans funeral for Zach.
What's a New Orleans funeral?
Yeah, what is that
Where we're like,
Isn't that like where they march them down this, like a nice
Yes.
ceremonial send-off?
No, it is. It is.
Do you get
Louisiana?
beats?
Yeah.
Do you get-
Oh, you get the
hey.
full.
do they play when the Saints go marching in?
Well, they say when the Saints go marching out because you're dead.
Did you guys happen to see on the Twitter or whatever a couple weeks ago? There was a parade in New Orleans, and they were like throwing beads. I don't know what the reason for was.
Mardi
the
Gras?
parade. Yeah, I maybe, and maybe the Saints maybe had a float or something, and they had like a person filming on the float, and in the crowd was Peyton Manning.
from Louisiana.
He's waving, and they throw him some beads, and he catches them. And there's like 1,000 people there, but he's obviously taller than everybody.
Yeah.
And there he is. And he just
That's
kind of
pretty cool.
And
waving
he
at the crowd.
just goes about his business. Nobody bothers him.
Peyton Manning. I thought it was like a setup because it was so funny.
Potentially. He's a Louisiana native, though.
No. Anyway, very random. The week that was is really 2 weeks that were because Stoff was ill. So much has happened. What has happened since our last episode? TradeCentre.
Oh, yeah.
We were supposed
Hey.
to have a TradeCentre recap episode last week.
You had a great year this year.
You know what? I have to tell you that I always, since I was on the show, I love going down there and just spending a little time to just see the energy. And I was jealous this year for the first time in a long time because that was that bang, 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 trade, boom, boom. You guys, it's usually a long day for you guys, but it must have felt much shorter this time because there was No, it didn't.
Well, it did for the first, I would say, 4 or 5 hours because the morning is always really painful from 8 to 12 or so because nothing happens. And you're right. We had a trade almost perfectly every half an hour.
Yeah.
A trade. And as soon as we were finished talking about that trade, another trade would happen.
Yeah.
So it was magic. By the way, so Puffy's routine on trade deadline is he'll bring up a sheet with all the trades on it to me every once an hour, maybe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
every time he comes up, he puts it down and he says, "You were doing a great job. You were really killing it this year." And it's the most insincere compliment ever because he says it every hour of every year,
True, I meant it this year.
even when I'm bombing.
Oh,
So,
when have you ever bombed on that show? Come
sure,
on.
you were-
there's signs.
This is definitely, you're getting the award. It's an award year.
We didn't do a lot of shtick this year.
No.
You didn't have time, though.
Did we get
The
your
bus
song
thing.
to
Oh, the air song? No, don't worry about it. Just for the listeners, we had prepared a David Ayers song.
Right. We haven't been on since the David
We
Ayers
haven't been
thing,
on,
have we?
on it since then. Yeah. Did I send it to you, Stoff?
That one might be old
I
now.
think so. I'm looking for it right
Okay.
now.
Tell you what, you know what?
We'll plug it in post.
We'll plug a little 10 seconds in post of Lester's David Ayers emergency goalie song.
Still can't believe it. I didn't see it coming. Not even in a million years. I couldn't believe the cheers. Holy moly. I just dropped the bony. Next thing I knew, I strapped on fast and on my goalie mask. And I played for the Hurricanes. must have been this house 1,000 times, and now I'm calling for the hurricane. Now I'm in this net on Saturday night, and it went well. What a story to tell. The one and only time that I played golf and won in the NHL. Woo-hoo, 42. Call me 90. One time later at David S.
And that was fantastic, Lester.
Well,
I'm going to assume he just put it in post. I can't even remember the song, but yeah, that was a crazy story. We had him in to do our little TradeCentre thing. You know what? Just a legit nice guy.
Yeah,
He seems like it.
Everything that you would want your emergency goalie to be, like, because you could get a situation like this where the guy's a dick,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, for sure.
And
Of course.
I'm happy he did all the talk shows and everything else like that. I told you, we talked about Scott Foster on here, the guy from Chicago who decided not to do any of that. But I love that David did it, and he was on.
He was on everything.
Yeah.
He was on pretty much everything. And I think people are talking about movies and things. And I told him, milk it. You know what I mean? This is your chance. If you can get a book deal or a movie and all that stuff, and he's loving it, and his wife's really nice. And
Is he still?
His wife's good looking too, if I may say, respectfully, of course.
It's always respectful.
Yes, of course.
Is he still the e-bug for?
Oh yeah.
So, like, imagine he comes in again this year for the Leafs.
But
and
for-
it's the best. Leaf fans will actually kill the guy. Like, if
That
he
would be
comes
a
in, he
scenario.
better play well.
Yeah. That was an entirely weird night. So TradeCentre was a success. David Ayers is a huge star. What else happened since then? Oh, we aired our little golden goal book, Matt Cade's book.
Oh, yeah, Matt Cade. What a great job by him.
I wanted to do a shout out because that book, by the way, which is not, and if any of you listeners are the people that wrote in, we must have gotten 10,000 notes through either the TSN Facebook or my Twitter, or TSN Twitter and Instagram asking about that book. And kind of said, well, we probably should have made that a book instead of only making one copy.
Yeah, think through that, James.
Wasn't the greatest business plan ever?
Well, knowing you two aren't Warren Buffett over there.
Well, he only came up with it, I think, in the last 2 weeks before the thing. But,
Well, it's a great idea, and he executed it really well.
Really good
did
idea.
very well. Anybody else? What else has happened in there? Your weeks the last couple of weeks. Puffy injured his neck. Stoff has been deathly ill.
I wrote some new music.
You've been okay?
Yeah, I've been good.
You got some new songs?
I might have some new songs. Yes.
You want a sample? Give us a little sample.
No, hold off for now.
Goodbye.
My book's done.
Hey!
That's big news.
That is.
That was a pain in the ass that almost killed me. Now I have to go through, and I gave it to the evil quizmaster. I gave a copy
that
to.
was a disaster.
Are you done?
choice.
Are you done reading
I'm
it?
still reading. Take that, I'm a reader.
Puffy does some of my proofreading for me.
Does he really?
The evil quizmaster, he's got me wanting to make a lot of changes.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, that
Can't
was a
give it to
mistake
him.
by me. But anyway, so I'm proofreading that, and that'll be out. Hey, I had a thought for you guys. I have a working title for the book. Did I tell you? Have I said that on the podcast?
No, I don't think you have.
Should I? The working title for the book is called Beauties.
Yes.
Hockey's Greatest Untold Stories.
Sure.
Because most of the people in the book are beauties.
Yeah, get it.
You know, guys like Bob McKenzie and Biz Nasty
Yeah.
and Sidney Crosby and Bobby Orr.
Beauty
and-
of a story, I guess.
Yeah, and do you like that name?
I do.
Or should I go on the Twitter and
No.
solicit names for a book? And, maybe if the guy guesses
That's how you end up with the Rubber Boots podcast.
You're right. Lesson learned, it's called Beauties.
I was actually going to suggest you call it Rubber Boots Presents Beauties.
Wow.
The rubber boots in big letters across the top, and that's it.
Beauties.
I had a couple of updates for you.
Please.
First of all, Brooksy and my our bed rotation.
Get that through
I
your
was
head?
going to ask about
how
that.
is it?
It's become a rotation now.
Oh.
So I am quite enjoying it. So one night, me and Brooksy in the little bed.
In the little bed. You together.
In the little bed together. It's very cozy.
Okay.
Feels very, hotelish or
Yeah.
kind of college dormish.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's also the lovemaking bed.
I'm not going to talk about that because
But-
apparently people are
But it
commenting
is.
on that.
But it is.
Allegedly.
Very warm. I find I sleep well in that bed.
Yeah.
Then next night, maybe me and Brooksy go back to the master. Night
Okay.
after that, Brooksy goes to the little room. Jimmy goes to the master.
You get to stretch out.
Next night, maybe Brooksy's in the master.
So is this
Jimmy's in
Is
the
this
little
a
room.
schedule you guys have talked about,
Yeah, we
or
just-
did it just happen organically?
It happens organically, right before bed. We say, what's the plan tonight? And she goes, man, I think I'm going to be on my own tonight. And I'm like, all right, I'll see you in the morning. And then the next night, she's like, come on in, let's cuddle.
So really, it's not a plan. It's just her telling you what's going to happen.
Essentially, that's true.
Well,
Isn't that what marriage is?
Hey, that's about to say. She runs the show. Hey, I think that's great. I do. I
You
hear
guys
that.
are changing things for like a young couple like myself and
Right.
Tanya. We look to you guys for experience.
Right.
And
You have
that's-
extra beds at your home?
Yes, we do.
Well, then you should try it out.
Yeah.
We haven't even ventured up into the loft yet.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll do a basement couch one night.
While I was sick for the week, I actually did venture into the guest bedroom.
Did you
In order to
get?
get
Now, was that
Nicole
your
a
choice, or
couple
did
hours of
Nicole
sleep.
kick you out?
No, she didn't kick me. That was my choice. I was coughing, so I figured
Yeah,
it wasn't
nice,
really
sir.
fair to the
Very
person
nice.
to have to get up.
Very
early.
respectful.
Now, are you
Very
ever
respectful.
going back?
Oh, I've gone back.
Oh, you've gone back. Okay, so just
The guest room's a little colder than our master.
I like the cold though.
Because you don't have that body heat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Edit point.
Update number 2.
Oh, nice.
A couple of episodes ago, I think it was the post Super Bowl episode. Corona.
No.
I discussed my trip to Miami.
Yes.
And a rather crazy night out where a model showed up on the scene.
Instagram model.
An Instagram model. Well, I think she was a model and an Instagram model.
Oh, okay.
Could have been both.
Did I mention her name?
No.
I don't think I did. And I said she had dated a guy from Baywatch.
From the Baywatch. Yeah.
One of my colleagues on that trip sent me a TMZ article from today
Really?
that says, David Charvet, Baywatch bod upstaged by Mystery Bikini Bay.
Ooh.
And my answer to that is not a Mystery Bikini Bay to me. That is her.
So
Clearly
they're back together.
Back
Let me see.
together.
Let me see that.
There you go.
So I think I had the right David Charvet. I think that's the guy I was thinking of.
All right, do you want me to read it
No,
to you?
I said Hobie.
David Charvet still getting residuals from Baywatch. That's a cold line.
nice.
But the kind he's scoring is better than cash. Oh, God, these guys. Who writes this crap for TMZ?
Oh, my
the actor who famously played Matt Brody is living
Matt Brody, yeah.
on vacay in St. Bart's. David's bod deserves an appropriate measure of attention, but in this case, the spotlight belonged to someone else. Enter the mystery woman by his side aboard a luxury yacht, suited up with a Baywatch standard issue. You know, the type that made men sweat back in the 90s. We don't know who she is. I know exactly. If I phone TMZ right
Give the
now,
name.
would I get money?
Yeah.
And give her name?
Yeah.
How much should I hold out for?
$40. That's all it's worth.
See if they'll sponsor the pod.
Yeah. TMZ presents a
so
Rubber Boots production.
She had said in
Beauties.
Miami that they had broken up.
Well, they
now,
probably
clearly,
were on a
but-
timeout.
Well, he said, like, hey, you want to come on the yacht and come to... They're making out in the shot. Good, too.
Yeah, who's not taking up the St. Bart's trip, even if you don't like the person?
Yeah, it's true, right?
That is true.
Right. And that goes for men or women.
Yeah.
100%.
We'd all do the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's your update for this week. We have a... what do you want to get to? Stoff has done an unbelievable job. I think he
Yes.
spent his entire time sick
Just
doing
producing.
things that I saw on Twitter. So let's get to it. Brought to you by the Weimara.
Freaky pigs, strange chicks, world affairs, polar bears, fake news, nice shoes, big boobs, jack dudes. All of these things and more as I sat on the shitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
Things that I saw on Twitter is brought to you by the beautiful Weimara Resort in Turks and Caicos, where Jimmy will be leaving in about a week.
Are you going back?
We
Are you?
always would be like thinking about where you'd go.
Now you know.
Now we know exactly
Everything.
where you'd go.
Going to the resort, not the villas, this time, which I'm looking forward to. Going to go down with my buddy Mike, the Dave Chappelle guy. He's going to be down there.
He's going to be down there?
Oh, yeah. We're going to have multiple beverages together. I'm going to go out on
Now,
the
will
boat.
you spend a lot of time at that main pool?
Going to go out with Chino and Tank on the boat
Chino
again.
and Tank,
Nice.
You guys
nice.
know Chino
No,
and
yes,
Tank?
of course.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're going to take us back out on the boat. We're going to
Nice.
go there. I'll hang around the pool and the beach a lot.
But you see
Brooksy likes
the
the beach.
main pool, that big pool there, that's
Yeah.
where you'll go?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
where
I like that pool. That's good. That was
Well,
good. We had a good. That was. I remember the
good
first
time.
day we got there. We had some beers.
Me and Mike tend to be in there with the Coronas.
Nice.
Hey, watch out.
For much of the day.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I like to start the things that I saw on Twitter with some viewer mail. Cedric Walsh, I think you guys both responded to this guy. He was the guy who was saying before that he needed the podcast to, I think his words were, get some from his
Oh,
wife.
yes.
Yes.
Responded.
Because he
Yes.
didn't have Puffy's wrist strength.
Exactly.
How about this news? So he's still upset. What the hell, guys? No Rod Smith and no new podcast. Desperate times. I had to propose to finally get some. She said yes, by the way. So we congratulate Cedric Walsh, who got engaged basically because of our podcast.
Exactly.
Or more so because there was no podcast.
Yes, bringing people together.
I've said, again, as I said, if you need somebody to sing at your wedding, I will check with Puff and see if he'll do it.
Yes. Have a sweet baritone.
And I'll take the vegetarian option.
Was I going to do the strongman thing at the end of this thing?
Yeah, I thought we were going to tie that into
Okay,
Puffy's
no
hypothetical.
problem. There was another hypothetical thing. Somebody had a couple for Bastille Day, your Bastille Day,
Bastille
and the
Day.
guillotine. Okay, let's get to stuff here from things that I saw on the Twitter. There was a lot of people tweeting to ask if Stoff was okay, by the way.
That's very nice.
People care about us. Do we do the podcast review stuff? Do I do that here or do that later?
Sure.
We had some more podcast reviews, some positive ones. How about this? Cowboy Cody. Probably the best and funniest podcast that I listen to. Look forward to a new episode every week. Keep it up, guys. Also in favor of a road trip and do the podcast live.
Perfect.
There's a lot of
Yes.
building momentum for that.
Yes.
And Honeymoon Suite,
Oh,
which I believe we may have heard from after the Bump episode.
Yes.
Wasn't that person's name Honeymoon Suite?
Yes, I believe so.
So you are really funny, and it's Stoff. He's brilliant, but this episode was missing something. I don't want to say Bump, but I think it was Bump. He's a superstar, and you're benching him like the Raptors did to Tracy McGrady. Back to my medicinal marijuana. Keep up the good work. From Bill Irwin, Mr. Noodle, not Bump. I think that was probably Bump, was it not?
it could be Tails, because he's a big honeymoon sweet guy.
Who's Tails?
Sean Taylor?
Oh, Tails. Yeah, of course. Tails doesn't come to Masters anymore, though. With
No,
us,
he
right?
goes to the
Lanny.
women's under 18s.
Lanny's on board.
Everybody goes to
I'm trying to kill time right now
best.
because I've lost the order of the things I saw on Twitter. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Gator-boating. This was I sent it to you guys. Didn't
Yes,
I?
you
This-
did.
That was
That's insane.
yeah. There's not really sound for this, is there, Stoff?
No, we'll tweet it up.
It was a boat going through like
Gator country.
a gazillion gators.
Like,
though.
looked like at
Like
least
waves of
1,000.
gators.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by how scared the gators seemed, though?
No,
Like
they
the
looked like
gators
they were hungry.
No,
No,
the
they were
gators
ready to
were
go.
all like running away from the boat.
Well, because the boat has a motor.
You don't want to get hit.
Sure, you get chewed up in that pretty
Same
good.
time.
Would you do that boat ride? How much? This boat feels
40
pretty safe.
gold bars.
Wow.
Did we ever determine what the gold bars were worth?
No. 40 feels like enough.
I think I would just do that boat ride.
No
Just-
chance.
Yeah, just as a
with
say something I've done.
With Tank and Chino.
yeah,
as your-
Tank and Chino driving it.
Wow.
No chance.
No, I would
Yeah,
not do that.
So
for free.
a
adventure.
bar of gold
Yes.
is worth $1,295 American dollars.
That's it.
$12.95.
Why don't I just have a few of those just kicking around just to show off?
Hey, Stoff, can we forget the bridge since we're talking about the bars of gold? Can we run that thing now?
Yeah.
So another one of our followers, I should probably give him some love. Sent in a YouTube video from a strongman competition, and it's Leafs. Oh, he doesn't even have a name. He goes by the name Leafs Brunch, and then his picture is a bunch of waffles. Oh, it's a waffle in the shape of a maple leaf. I get it now. But this is a strongman competition where they're throwing
I saw
gold
this.
bars over a
Yeah.
Like it's like imagine a high jump bar.
Right. And they're
They
throwing
got
it over there.
or
So,
a
wow.
pole vault bar kind of thing, and they're throwing gold bars over it.
It brings up the big man from Iceland. He only needs to get one bar here to win the group. Now it's just for show at this point.
Power and strength is not a problem for Hathor Julius Bjornsson.
He's into the final for the 7th straight year, and the crowd loves him. He's asking if they want another one.
Wow.
Hathor Julius Bjornsson, certainly no stranger to entertainment.
things are heavy.
Kind of bringing the
Loves
crowd
Yeah.
to it.
Stop just looking at
Tom
him.
was going to run the whole thing in there. I thought like you,
It was
I
a
thought
hell
you
of
and
a competition.
you and Megan were engaged in conversation. You're just going to run the whole
I do
half-hour
have
show.
to make a small correction here. It turns out I can't read. So a bar of gold is actually worth $6,500.
Okay,
That makes more sense.
If it was only
Now it's
1,200,
worth a
I'd
lot.
have a few of those bad boys.
Oh, that gives us more context to all your hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Apparently, the guy who was the Game of Thrones, The Mountain, was
Yeah.
one of the competitors in that show. He's in the strongman competition.
They're
We
usually-
would have heard that part if you didn't cut it off.
Sorry about that. What else? What else? Not now. The everyman can pod like Duthie. Air New Zealand.
Yes.
Has developed a sleeping
I saw
pod.
this.
We're not talking about podcasting. We're talking about pods on planes. Air New Zealand has developed a sleeping pod prototype for economy class to help passengers cope with long haul flights. So it looks like It's kind of like, have you seen those things in Japan, those Japanese businessmen?
Yeah.
They rent these little things and they sleep. So you basically...
In a coffin.
It does seem a little coffinish.
Do you think that will increase the amount of mile-high activity?
I don't think you get two people in that thing.
No, I don't
Couldn't?
think
Unless they were little
No,
people.
you couldn't.
Like really small people.
This is like
Brooksy could fit in, maybe.
It's like Seinfeld with the chest of drawers when the
Yes, exactly.
Yes, it's exactly what it is.
That's
right?
what it is. Don't you think it would be? That's too. Because I think I've told my stories on here about the MRIs. I don't like those when you have to put your whole head in there because it's like right on top of you and you got to lie there
You're
for a half an
claustrophobic,
hour.
forget it.
So these things are like you're closed in some little coffin. It just doesn't seem right.
I don't like
Well,
it.
you're closed in a small area with 5 other people in a similar position.
Right, but there you're not seeing them. They're like above
Now,
you or
do they
below you,
lock?
right? I don't think.
No,
you can lock
I think it's
people
just
in.
like a curtain, so you could actually see.
Oh, you can see all
It's
the
a
people around
comedy
you.
class. I mean, it's not.
Well, that
you
would
know.
never fly now with the corona fears, would it?
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know. Anyway, at least they're trying to get people an option of lying down. We wouldn't have any reclining issues.
You know what
then,
it
right?
is?
True.
'Cause everybody wants to be Jimmy.
You know what? They have those on the buses. When we did the Stanley Cup final, were you on that one? Detroit. We rented Motley Crue's bus.
Nice.
You might have caught the coronavirus on that thing.
We got more than that. I'll tell you
Speaking
that
of
right
germs, so we would go between Detroit and Pittsburgh on the Motley Crue bus. And they have, on all those buses, tour buses for bands, they have sleeping areas there.
Yeah.
That's like you have about 10 beds in the middle of the bus. Same sort of thing.
And was it comfortable?
Yeah.
Did you sleep?
Yeah, I was. I'm not a good sleeper. Period like that. It was a little weird because you got Bob McKenzie under you, Sarah Oleski, and then one above you. Just weird. Rashog.
Was anyone not cooperating and staying
Yes.
up late to drink and stuff?
Yes. Yes, me. No, more like Dregs and Rashog and those guys were no good at all. I think I might have slept for like 2 hours on one of those things, but it wasn't like it was like a 6-hour drive.
I actually would have liked to have done a trip like
Oh,
that.
you would have been
you were going from where to where?
Pittsburgh,
Detroit.
Wow. Okay.
So we would, instead of doing flights, that's what we did back and forth. Dog racing between periods. It appears the Canucks have dog races on the ice between periods. Donnie Virtanen is the champion of today. So are they the actual dogs of the players? Is Donnie Virtanen Jake Virtanen's dog?
I'm not sure. I thought they were just people bringing
Random
their dogs
dogs?
and race them.
And maybe they just give them...
Do they run on the ice?
Yeah, there's lanes I guess that are lit up by the lights inside the arena, and the dogs just go across the ice.
I guess that's possible.
Well, I don't know. You've seen they have like baby racing at basketball games.
That
I've
is the
seen that
best,
before. It's really cute.
So
Similar
Stoff asked the question, what is the best intermission halftime activity? Baby racing, the half-court shot. Seems like a lot of people are making those lately.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy who made one?
But I don't think you get paid enough.
This guy made one recently, and he went crazy, ran around the arena. His prize was 12 medium pizzas.
Like,
That was his prize.
you should win $1 million.
12 medium pizzas.
Wow.
That was the contest.
Not large, medium. Wow.
Kicking a field goal, that whole thing.
Yeah, I was at that.
I was at the $1 million. Wendy's
I was
kick
there
for $1 million.
too.
I was there. Yeah.
That was the one at the CFL game. The
Yeah,
Argos?
the one
yeah.
That was the
Scott
first time we ever did the competition.
And,
Right?
and he missed the 20.
Yeah,
he
he missed
missed
them
the
all.
30. He missed the 40. And
then
he hit the 50.
which is unreal.
I just remember Matt Dunnigan getting right in his ear saying, "You got this. Come on, you've got this." And he kicked it.
I know.
It
Unbelievable.
was pretty awesome.
But then in the years after that, they would get people that had no chance, and I guess it's a random contest.
Yeah.
Like I remember at one of the Grey Cups, it wasn't the kick for $1 million, but it was a similar thing where the woman had to kick a 40-yard field goal, and she comes out in heels, and I'm like, how is this even going to function? And the ball didn't make it 4 yards.
Yeah, no.
But anyway, those were fun. You know what they used to do? I had a theory. They used to do it at the Pro Bowl. Gillette would sponsor it, and it was a kick for $1 million or $100,000 or something. And they had winners like 3 years in a row. And I believe this was proven true, my theory, that they went and got athletes to do it because they determined that the insurance money they would have to pay, like they all get insured on these things. So let's say it was $100,000. I don't think it was $1 million. So maybe they'd have to pay $5,000 or $10,000 in insurance, or $20,000 to actually. The amount of press they would get
For the winner.
On all the highlight shows being on SportsCenter for the winner, hey, look at what happened in the Gillette kick for $1 million was by far worth it. So they would get guys, like these guys would
be like, Adam Vinatieri?
Yeah. They would like pummel these things. You look in the early 2000s, there's about 3 years in a row these guys won, and they would smack like a 40-yard field goal, no problem whatsoever.
I can't believe in anything anymore, James. It's all been
M. Vanderjet.
What is your favorite? Baby racing's my favorite. I love the baby racing.
I like the sausage racing. I think it's funny, and then they always wipe each other out.
That is pretty good.
No, baby racing. I'll take the baby racing.
The Prime Minister's enough.
You ever see the one? I think it's in Cleveland for Indians games, where it's just like you get the person,
Mr. Ice,
maybe the really fast guy.
Yeah, is it Cleveland or Chicago?
I thought that was Atlanta, wasn't it?
Oh, it's Atlanta.
When he races,
but he's like so fast. He's like a ground
and so
guy.
they give him like a half a head start,
and then he always catches them. And it's like,
he got beat. Like remember the guy who had him beat, and then he wiped out at the last second.
He turns to the crowd to go, "Yeah, I won," and then he gets blown by it.
Yeah, the guy's a rocket.
Yeah.
On February 29th, it's traditional in some countries for women to propose to their partners.
Is it?
The custom dates back to a time when a woman proposing marriage to a man was seen as unusual. Is this just
is
Is this just an elaborate way to save money on anniversary gifts? Good point.
Ooh,
only every 4 years.
That's pretty sneaky, smart.
I wish I thought of that.
That is brilliant.
That
really.
really
Damn it!
Would you like to have your birthday on a leap year?
No.
When you got older, that would feel better.
Well, you're not actually you're still the same amount of years.
Just thinking.
Or you look really old for your age.
Yeah, it's like I'm 11.
By the way, Mr. Freeze is from Atlanta.
Damn it!
Atlanta. I did say Atlanta, right?
I said Cleveland.
If only we could get to a Braves game.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
That would be. You know what? We should try to plan that one year.
And all four of us try to race him?
Yeah. We should do that.
Send in our 40 runs.
Mr. Freeze.
Sorry, that's
Mr. Freeze will kill me in a race. Like, destroy me.
I think I could beat him without the head start.
I know you could.
Without the head start.
Yeah, you think you could. Like, he would. I could be at, between first and second base, and he would still beat me.
Right.
You wouldn't try to take him out?
I get scared.
He was probably a dead CAA sprinter, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he's
super fast.
Pretty close to world-class speed.
He's very fast.
Could be Michael Johnson, former U.S. Olympian.
Thank you.
He was very fast.
I appreciate that.
And maybe from the Atlanta area?
Let's get to Puffy's hypotheticals.
Good segue.
Puffy's hypotheticals are messing with my mind. Puffy's hypotheticals, what's it gonna be this time? Puffy's hypotheticals are blowing my mind again. Puffy's hypotheticals.
Puffy, I have to say you emailed
yourself?
this hypothetical, and I really thought this was a good one. So share it with our audience.
You did? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so in this particular circumstance, reincarnation exists.
Okay.
So you will
kinda
continue
believe
to
it does.
come back
I don't believe in
over
a lot
and
of it.
over until the end of your life.
Okay.
That's what reincarnation is.
All right.
You will be
Hold
aware
on.
of this.
If you're coming back over and over, then there is no end to your life.
Hold on. Oh, after you die, you come back.
Right away? Like the next day?
Next day.
Like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, like next day. But no, you're not the same person.
You don't know.
You could be someone. You could be Donald Trump's grandson.
Are you a human? Could you be a butterfly?
No, you're a human.
I always wanted to be a butterfly.
No, you're a human in all these things.
Could I skip the caterpillar phase?
No,
Go
you
right
are.
to
You are a human, but you might not have a good human life.
Okay, but I am definitely a human.
Yes, you will be aware of your ability to come back. In your
Right away,
future
though,
lives.
as a baby, I'd be a baby, I wouldn't know.
No, but okay, eventually.
Eventually,
once you realize your powers. Damn you! I gotta find my notes.
All right,
don't want to miss anything.
At least you wrote this one down.
Okay.
Unlike the guillotine thing, which you made up on the fly a couple.
It's probably better when I make it up on the fly because I'm not just looking at my notes.
Okay.
Okay. So, but the catch is that you have to end this life in 3 days.
Wow.
3 days.
So it's enough
Via
to
guillotine.
It's enough to handle your affair.
When you say end this life, how do you end? Like, do you just die?
you
You get to
gotta
choose the way you die?
Sure.
All right. Whoa.
So you're giving yourself eternal lives, but you're sacrificing the present one. And you might have some bad ones. You might come back and not have very good situations.
Okay, but if I'm in a bad situation,
You can just do.
you could live really dangerously.
Yeah, you
have
can.
something happen.
You can take chances.
Yeah, skydiving and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
you can take chances.
What's that thing where you not skydiving, but
Oh, we have, like,
where
the
you
short
fly
little
between
wings?
you fly between the little mountains there?
Oh,
what's
so
that called?
cool.
Megan?
gliding?
Megan, anybody?
It's not hang gliding.
No, it's like that. It's kind of like you're like a little bat.
Yeah,
bat
but-
flying.
Yeah,
I think it's called
bird.
bat flying.
It's like the bird. The bird.
It's called
time.
bird manning.
Bird time.
Bird manning.
Yeah.
Bird time.
Bird dogging. Basically called "If I did it, I would die."
That's the craziest thing ever. You ever
Oh.
see those GoPro videos on those
But
things?
it's like the guy who's like the best in the world. It's always a new guy because the best in the world guy died. So he smashed into a mountain.
He died last
Like, yeah.
week. Geez, that's a tough one, Puffy, because, how do I leave
You
Brooks-
have a very good
How
life.
do I leave Brooksy and the kids?
Exactly,
But I've had a good run.
But yeah, you've also you've gotten them all to.
Can I get
your
them? Can I
adulthood.
bring them? Can I make a deal to bring them along with me?
No.
No, you're out. That's it.
But this all could end next week just on its own.
Right.
But
And then
this
you'd
is
have
now
no more lives.
giving you all, and you get to keep the experience. Like you have the wherewithal.
Oh, so I can
of your
think back of all the good times
Learn
I
from
had
mistakes.
with all my kids and
Yeah.
learn from mistakes.
Learn from your mistakes.
So again, as a baby, would I be a genius? A baby genius?
No. I mean, eventually you gain this power at 5 years old. That's when you.
But I'd be a 5-year-old genius.
Maybe you're not going to be super genius. You're going to be a regular person.
All right. But with knowledge that I've had past lives. Do you
Yes.
think anybody will believe me when I tell them about my
No,
past
you
lives?
can't
'Cause
tell people
We seem to
because-
be skeptical about these things
Yeah,
right
then
now.
people would think you're not being truthful.
Do you think that people will think I'm a horrible person if I give up on this life right now?
No, people.
What are you gonna do?
I think a lot of people.
What are you
will
going to
last.
do? You're gonna feel it out? Okay, Stoff, let's start with you.
I'm not doing it.
You're not.
The odds of you coming back in a worse situation are way greater than in a
Yeah,
good
so
one.
Yeah, but then you just go
got
to a
another
new situation.
That's a lot of work, gentlemen. That's a lot of hang gliding.
All right. I just figured with your car and your illnesses.
Is this situation?
What are the chances you?
What are you
Are you
trying to talk me
really? Are you
into
really
here?
in that good a situation?
Yeah, I think you could probably aim for a little bit more.
Have to get up at
Producing
4
a
a.m. every
podcast?
day. Have to produce us idiots all the
You mean
time.
Jane Dan?
I was talking about Jane Dan.
Damn.
Lester.
I will probably pass on that as well. I'll stick with my current life. Again, how do I know I'm not going to end up in a worse situation? And why do I want to live that long if it's no good on earth?
But you might have great situations.
You're gonna have great situation. Could we come back? Is it time travel? Because I don't want to come back with the dinosaurs. We already established that.
You're only going to
We're
the
going
future.
forward.
So you're going to get to
Oh,
see
you know
all
what?
the future stuff too.
But what if the future, like our
What if
planet's
future-
probably screwed within a century anyway? So I'm only get like one more life out of this.
Listen, what if
and
Trump?
if it's a crappy life?
What if Trump gets in again? You know what I mean?
What if you're Trump's kid
That's
with
what
his
I said.
fourth wife? Oh, you said that
yeah,
already?
God,
I did. Maybe in my head I said it. Maybe if I've come back from.
No, you did say it.
Yeah.
You said it out
Yeah,
loud.
like
I
that's
heard
the thing.
you.
You might have something like that, but then you get to
Either
be a
that
really
or
rich
right side of your
kid.
head.
Well, it's kind of a daddy. Ooh, daddy. You could ride that out for a couple decades, have some fun with it.
I just want to say right now, Jared, Darian, Gracie, Brooksy, I love you guys with all my heart.
Yeah. You're
I think I got to come back though.
you're selfish.
And I'll spend 3 more days with you guys.
We're gonna make this the greatest 3 days
Exactly.
ever.
You can do everything, and you can
Right.
set them up. Maybe a big life insurance policy.
Of course.
Set them up for success.
And I'm going to believe that I'm going to be like the guy in Lion. In my next life, I'm going to search for them around the world until I find them because I think they will be reincarnated as well. Because I already believe in reincarnation.
Oh, okay.
What about you, Puffy?
I'm not doing it. I love my family too much.
Damn you.
You're an
I thought for sure you were doing it.
No chance. That's terrible. Why would you do that? Leave your family and
I couldn't really do it. Like if I was
Love you,
given,
boys.
if you actually had the powers, Puffy, to do this to me,
yeah.
I don't think I could do it. But in this version of the podcast, it sounds pretty intriguing to me.
It's interesting.
Maybe I could live my dream because I have knowledge. Maybe in my next life, I could play in the NFL.
Exactly.
I'd work out a little harder.
Exactly.
I'd have maybe a little bit better genetics. I'd be a little taller, a little faster.
Yeah.
And all those things.
New Jack Masters.
Let's get Megan in here. We'll ask her if she wants to do this. Megan, our guest intern, tell her to come in.
Hey, come on in, man.
While Megan's coming in here, I had another hypothetical for you.
Oh, nice.
Well, we discussed this the other night, but I wanted to ask Lester and Stoff. It's a lot of presidential talk right now.
Yes.
Elizabeth Warren dropped out of the race, so it's now Joe Biden versus Bernie Sanders for
Yes.
the Democratic nomination to face Donald Trump in the 2020 election. A lot of people guessing about who will be his running mate. Because that could maybe push Joe Biden over the top if he got like a Kamala Harris or a Elizabeth Warren who would bring in some more people, and then boom, Joe Biden's your president. So what would be your Hi, Megan.
Hi.
Megan, this is Megan. She's an intern, and she's visiting with us today. This is your first podcasting experience?
Yes. Other than in school, but I don't really count that.
No, it counts.
It counts.
It's probably more professional than
It
this.
probably really is. Do you actually do what school are you from?
Carleton. I've graduated, though.
I did not know you were from
Look at him.
Carleton.
Changes all.
No,
You're like Ryerson.
you guys can leave now.
This is our podcast.
Did you do Carleton journalism?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you go there to follow in my footsteps?
I went there so I could move away from home. That's really it.
That's
Yeah.
smart. That's a smart.
Megan, you could have lied.
I love my parents.
Made
I
me
love them.
feel a little bit better. You're from Whitby, which is just outside of Toronto?
Yes.
Did you enjoy the Carleton experience?
I did. Yeah.
Is Klaus Pohl still there?
He's still there.
So Klaus
I think
Pohl,
he's going to be there for a while.
Klaus Pohl was my thesis
Mentor?
advisor. And at the time, I thought that he was about 68 years old when I went through
When you were
Carleton.
there.
And that's like about 50 years ago that I was at Carleton.
And he's still there?
And he's still there. I went to a little reunion thing in the summer. I think I talked about that, and Klaus was there. He's unbelievable. I love the old Carleton journalism. What do you want to be? Are you going to be a news reporter or a podcaster or a sports person or
Oh,
what?
gosh. Loaded question.
Yeah? What do you
I'm
think?
still trying to figure it out, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So am I.
Do you have an interest in podcasting?
I do. That's why I'm here.
Oh, now did someone just say, "Hey, you said I have an interest in podcasting," so they said go listen to these clowns, or did you say, "Hey, I listen to the Rubber Boots podcast. Can I go see those guys?"
Definitely
Be honest.
the latter.
For sure, you have listened to the podcast before.
I have. I promise.
Are you Bright-Eyed Dougie?
I
knew
really enjoyed your story about the Post Malone concert.
Oh,
I'll tell you
thank
that
you.
right now. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, well.
You definitely did listen.
See? That's my proof right there.
Now, did you just listen to the podcast because you found out you were coming on the podcast?
Should also be.
This is like
pleading the
truth or
fifth.
dare.
I'm pleading the fifth.
All
You
right,
can't
that's
ask
fair
that.
enough. That's fair.
Well, hold on. Can you finish your story of your thought about the running mate?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
sorry.
yes, it's okay.
That's, I'm never going to fire you again because I've realized that I get off track and you often steer me back.
I try to.
I can't rely on him anymore.
My role.
So I was going to say, TSN,
Yes.
what would be the TSN 2020 ticket? So you can take two commentators. You want your president and your vice president from everyone at the TSN network. What is your 2020 ticket? I'll start because Puffy and I did this the other night because we were bored watching the Senators get killed by the Pittsburgh Penguins.
7-3 fun.
President Rod Smith, Vice President Lindsey Hamilton. Boom. No one's beating that ticket. That ticket is going to run away
Wow.
with probably win 49 of the states.
Wow.
Lester?
President, and I'm not sucking up, James Duthie.
Boom.
See, he's stuck.
Running mate,
Sorry.
Kayla Gray.
Oh, wow.
That is not, that's
That is pretty good.
smart. She's smart. She has a bubbly personality. Mm-hmm. I think it would be a good ticket.
That's a very good ticket.
Good ticket. Stoff, you got a ticket?
Yeah, president myself
nice.
and my vice president, Puffy.
Nice.
Because we
Podcast.
will do whatever it takes to get elected.
Shady politics.
Wow.
100%.
You talk to the thing about talk to the guy about the thing? Yeah. Okay.
I'd be a good VP.
Would you, though?
I would be very good.
Wouldn't you be like a Dan Quayle embarrassment type?
Well, I'd make some missteps.
You would make a lot of missteps.
I would also have to keep looking over my shoulder in case Puffy wants to become president.
You would
That's
be.
right.
What's the movie with Clooney and one of the Canadian guys?
Oh my God.
Bieber?
Who are the two? Ryan Gosling.
Reynolds. Oh,
no,
Gosling.
Gosling.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
called
that movie, The Candidate?
March, Ides of March.
Oh,
or
Ides of
something.
March. It was
Is that what
good.
it's
I like
called?
that. Yeah, I saw
Really good movie.
That was really good.
But didn't they end up killing a girl or something? Or somebody got the girl? Clooney got the girl
Girl
pregnant,
pregnant.
and she
Yeah.
dies somehow.
Yeah, that was.
See, that would be you. I'm not saying you'd get a girl pregnant. I just mean bad things would happen.
Bad things potentially.
You'd be the Frank Underwood of TSN.
I would need one. My ticket? I can't remember. I had it the other day.
Megan, do you watch TSN enough to have a ticket? Do you have a ticket?
Oh,
do you
don't
have
put me on the
favorites?
spot like that.
No?
I
please.
would.
Yeah, all right, that's fine.
Darren Decision
Darren Detition, President Darren Detition?
as president. He would be amazing. The
I think-
posters alone would be worth it.
I think he could win.
I'd like to change my
Wow.
answer.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna change. You're gonna take me off the presidency.
I'm not taking you. I'm going to say Kayla should be president.
Oh, what about
Vice president.
Now I'm vice
Oh,
president.
wow.
Vice.
That's just the black man trying to keep the white man down.
Yeah.
That's
typical.
right.
That's
trying to lift the
That's what
sister up.
happened for hundreds of years. And you're just perpetuating it.
That is the funniest thing you've ever said on this podcast.
All right. Anyway, that's our edition of Puffy's Hypotheticals. If you want to write in your presidential team, what do they call it? A ticket.
Ticket.
You can write us at the Rubber Boots Podcast. What do we have to do? I want to talk to Megan for a quick minute here. Do you want to do Stoff's picks? Want to do Stoff's XFL picks?
We also have What You Watching, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Let's do a quick What You Watching.
Watching.
What you watching? Just between you and me, what you streaming on your TV? Let me see. What you watching? Action, drama, comedy. What you streaming on your TV?
Megan, have you seen the Don't F with Cats?
I have.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I watched that the other day. What was your take on that?
I binged that. I watched
Yeah.
that in like one day.
So did I,
Yeah.
one night. Did you? It was pretty good, right?
It's pretty terrifying, but great. Yeah.
Yeah, terrifying, but well done.
Very.
But I was left. Have you guys seen that?
I have not.
I have not seen it yet.
So, non-spoiler alert, 20 seconds. Do you remember that Luca Magnotta guy who
Yes.
dismembered a body,
Yes,
a Canadian guy who kind of
Yes.
wanted to be a model? Mm-hmm. So this is the story of basically a bunch of randomly connected people, mostly two people, who were just kind of internet nerds.
Were they Canadian?
No. One girl was in Vegas. Where was the other guy? Megan?
I don't remember.
Chicago or something?
Something like that, yeah.
And this guy started Luca Magnotta by posting videos of killing kittens. And the girl, the premise of them, and the reason the title is that, apparently the rule on the internet, you can put a lot of disturbing stuff on the internet, but don't mess with cats. And so they started trying to track this guy down, and they became basically internet sleuths. And they spent 18 months trying to track this guy down before he killed someone. And they actually contacted the police in Toronto and such, and they never did anything. And, you know, to the police's credit, they probably think it's just some internet geeks.
Yeah.
But
Well.
the stuff, the lengths, I'm just going to tell one little spoiler, okay, which to me was amazing. They did unbelievable stuff to track this guy down. They were looking at all the little clues in the video and going all over the world, basically, to try to track down things that they saw in the room, bed sheets and vacuums and such. But they discovered one photo of him that they identified somehow as being Montreal, that it was taken in Montreal. So the two of them go on Google Maps, Google Earth, Street Vision, and they went through every street in Montreal until they found this staircase where he'd taken this picture.
Wow, that's
and they
incredible.
found it. And I don't think the murder was committed too far away from there, right?
Right. And they found his apartment building in Scarborough.
Yeah, it was insane what these guys did. Like, it just shows the FBI should hire these people because
For sure.
Anyway,
Wow.
we can recommend that. It's
Absolutely.
disturbing
Kinda
as hell. They don't show, by the way. I thought they had it very delicately. They don't show the videos of the cats being
cats.
killed or the person being killed.
Right.
They have the woman describe it and such. But some pretty good television right there.
Yep.
Yep. What are you watching right now, Megan?
Ooh. I think you guys might judge me.
Oh,
Does anyone here watch The Bachelor?
I have watched The Bachelor.
I've seen an episode.
Megan, I do watch The Bachelor because the women in my family do watch The Bachelor. So
I respect that.
Do you like the Pete?
No one likes
Pete.
Pete.
The
Nobody
Bachelor?
likes Pilot Pete.
He's a
let's be
playboy,
honest.
but
Yeah.
the girls do like him, do they not?
He's emotionally unstable, I think,
And
in terms of...
he's just a playboy.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing.
I
He's
heard
a
he
kid.
ends up.
Edit point.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I'll
would you
just spoil
Why
it.
would you tell me?
Why would you do
I
that?
thought everyone knew this.
You better
Oh my
beep that out when it
God.
puts out on Saturday.
I don't need to watch it now. It's
Just
fine.
beep the
That's
word.
what I heard.
Beep the word,
I
okay?
might be wrong.
Yeah.
I'll beep it all.
No, there's a lot of that. That'll be so easy.
Edit point.
I gotta stop talking.
Yeah. Here it was. I thought I was going to talk about Curb Your Enthusiasm and how amazing this season has been.
Can I ask you guys a legit?
I haven't seen it
Oh,
yet.
Curb.
Curb's been.
I haven't
off
got
the
to it
hook.
yet.
It's so funny.
I'm trying to catch up on Better Call Saul right now.
The first episode on, it's just like Larry. I don't know. Like, this is a guy that didn't want really anything to do with stardom and whatever, and he's kind of a curmudgeon-y guy.
Mm-hmm.
But as the years go on, have gone on, he's really quite beloved now. And he's
You
really
mean
got
on the character, you mean?
Not like him as a person.
Yeah.
Larry
Everybody
David.
loves Larry.
Yeah, now he is.
Yeah,
Not so much before.
he's worth about $1 gazillion.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
So, just on The Bachelor for one more second.
Sure.
So this pilot Pete's quite the playboy.
Yeah.
And you know they have the fantasy suites at the end. And we
Yes.
never really know what goes on in the fantasy suites all the time. But
Mostly
you,
sex.
Don't we, though?
you think is it always
Yeah,
sex?
they
Yes.
mostly sex.
Yeah.
Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
Do you think that out of percentage of fantasy suite dates, that how many would have sex?
99.
You think?
0.9. Yes.
You think it's that high? I would say more like 85%. I think there'd be some.
I think that some of the girls that would not want, or they're really looking for a husband. Maybe
wasn't there one guy who was a virgin?
Yeah, there was a virgin guy.
Colton.
Colby.
Did he
I was gonna say
lose
Colby.
his virginity in the
No.
fantasy suite? That would have been unbelievable.
Not once.
It's the shortest fantasy suite ever.
I'm not ashamed of The Bachelor.
it's good.
Brooksy
I'm not
watches
saying
it.
it is. I'm not saying you should be ashamed.
But I don't watch. Like I don't really have time for the crap. But I'll come watch like the end or whatever. I like to know what happens.
There's good drama.
So, would you, any of you on this panel, would you have a problem? Like, if you were really, for the most part, we all believe the show's bogus to an extent. Some of them do fall in love, but for the most part, people are trying to make their careers.
Why
right?
would you say that?
In model
How do you
acting.
know that she doesn't fully
Because
feel like it's
Megan's,
about love?
I can tell already she's smart. She went to Carleton.
Yeah.
She knows what's going on.
I
Right,
watched
Megan?
it for the entertainment factor.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
trashy.
exactly.
It is, ultimately.
It is trashy. So,
More
if you
people
were
fall
really,
in love on like Big Brother.
if you were really going for love, let's say
Yeah.
you thought this was going to be your wife if you were on The Bachelorette.
Yes.
Okay? Would you have a problem if you were the third fantasy date and she slept with the first two guys? The last two nights, you are the third, and she says, Puffy, I did sleep with the first two, but I want you to be my hubby.
I'm fine with it as long as she's there for the right reasons and it's part of her journey. Then I'm okay with it.
Are you really okay with
Yeah,
it,
I'd
though?
be fine
Don't
with
you think
it.
that would haunt you the rest of your life?
No.
Kind of like Indecent Proposal?
Whatever. No chance.
Lester?
As long as they clean the room, I'm good. What?
They don't all share the same.
I'm just trying to-
fantasy
It's a
suite.
different fantasy,
Different
right,
rooms.
Megan?
I would hope so.
They don't come in and clean up.
Look,
I need turn down
we're in a
service, please.
situation here
Like, if
where
we're the
cleanliness is very
If
important.
we're the three bachelors, it's not like Puffy's gaunch is sitting on the bed. You got to move it aside when you
rolling
come
in
in.
Is it Gunch or Gitch? I thought it was Gitch.
Gitch.
Anyway.
Gitch.
If it was the Bachelor, it would just be our orgy anyway, right?
Oh,
Sal?
sorry. Can I give a
Absolutely.
serious answer? Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Look, at the end of the day, everybody has a history and a story. If she really wants to be with me and I want to be with her, then that's no problem.
Yeah,
I don't
That's
have
it.
a problem with it. I couldn't
do it, eh?
I mean, look. Everybody's got a history, but that would be too recent a history for me. When our kids are asking me about our Met story, I say, "Yeah, me and Mummy, we got together after she banged two other guys." I couldn't handle
Yeah,
that.
but you could only have that excuse if you were on Bachelor season 1. Like once you saw how it all
Oh, you
played
know
out,
the deal.
then you know the deal. You go.
Megan, would you be all right with that?
See, I wouldn't, but
Yeah.
also, you're going on that show, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're
It's
right.
happened like 20 times before.
But
realize
but I could see people go on that show to get famous, and then they might actually develop feelings. And
Yes.
then
Je-
they're screwed.
Jesse Palmer told me that you get sucked into the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like he thought he had feelings for like the night that he proposed to the girl.
Yeah.
Jesse was like season 3 maybe of The
He was
Bachelor.
early. He was in the first.
So they're feeding tons of alcohol. You're in this romantic situation. The producers are putting pressure on you. Boom.
They're all good
Maybe I'm in
looking.
love. Here, I'm going to give her the ring. And then Jesse said basically about an hour after the show was over or that she left or
Say
whatever, he's like, okay. He called her, like, I think on the plane and said, yeah, this isn't going to work.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
You know what? I
would've
have
played
to
it
tell
out
you,
for a few months.
He has done so well.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that he was on that show.
Yeah. Jesse's getting married this summer.
But he's just as popular from that show, right?
I think so. Now he tells me, we actually talked about this at Super Bowl. He does some cooking show.
Okay.
Some barbecue or cooking show or something like that he hosts, and he says he gets recognized for that more than anything else he does now.
Really?
Yeah, so a lot of people watch those things. Stoff, do you want to give your XFL picks? Then we got to get out of here because the Overdrive guys are coming in.
Yeah, sure. I don't own it.
How'd you do last week? Did you make any picks? When you?
Why would I
Well, do you want to play the intro or
Yeah, no.
should we forego that this week?
Yeah, I think we should forego it until we get a new one.
I'll write something.
Perfect. All right. So last week went 2-2.
Nice.
So, win some, you lose some.
So what are you now? Like 6-6? Exactly what a monkey
actually
would be if they
6 and 10.
spun a wheel. 6-10.
6 to 10.
The monkeys got me beat right now.
Somebody
but
on Twitter.
we'll get there.
What did somebody on Twitter say? Do you have it on here? Don't you?
Yeah, I got it. I learned that at Stoffing the Post is the only reliable news source for unreliable XFL picks.
That's from Anton Films 226. Okay.
At least I'm consistent in my inconsistency.
Stoff, what are your XFL picks?
All right, this one's going to be easy this week, guys. All the road teams with the
Nice.
spread. So Seattle, New York, St. Louis -3.5, and Tampa.
How's your
A lot
Seattle
of
team
road
doing?
dogs.
How's your Seattle team doing? Are they?
We're 1-3. We're
Wow.
you know what? I'm happy with the season. It's a rebuild year anyway.
Have we been? How do you tank for picks in the XFL? You're basically working for the worst player.
Are we doing okay? I know
best
it's on our
player
network,
on the
and so
worst
we try to
team.
sell it, but is it doing okay?
I think it's doing okay.
Like, where's the draft?
I'm watching.
Is there an XFL draft?
I don't know. How do they get players?
Not sure.
Megan, is there an
It's the
XFL
gig
draft? Do you have
I'm
any
trying
idea?
to
Megan, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks, guys.
Do you want to do podcasting more or less from your experience on the Rubber Boots podcast?
Oh, absolutely more.
Right.
that's good.
It's fun, isn't it?
It is.
You don't have to be smart. I think you've seen that today.
You don't have to know about sports, which
That's true.
I appreciate.
Yeah, exactly. This is
true.
We told our bosses we were starting a sports podcast. They're like, "Oh, this will be awesome. You guys give us a lot of insight every week."
Yeah.
Didn't really happen
Well,
that way. Hey, you can just
we
talk.
did
You just
break
talk
down The
about stuff.
I was gonna say
The
the
Bachelor.
Bachelor breakdown.
Talk about stuff. Yeah, it was
any
very
questions
handy.
for us?
Maybe
Do you
you
have
could
any
be our
questions?
Bachelor correspondent.
There you go.
Sorry about the information I dropped.
What was
Do you
it?
have? I wonder. Megan,
The
has
one that's
any-
been
do you have any-
edited out, you mean?
Oh,
Do you have any questions for us? Anything you'd like
Yeah,
to
you-
ask us?
Yes, I want to know why it's called the Rubber Boots Podcast. Is this a long story?
Yes, it is a long.
I'm not
And a
going to tell
disturbing one.
I tell you what, Megan. The only piece of homework I'll leave you with is go listen to season 1, episode 1, and in the first 5 minutes you'll have your answer, and then you never have to listen again.
Okay, I'll report back.
It was a mistake. I will say that. Probably wasn't our brightest move. We said that numerous times.
Yes.
But we're sticking with it because
Yeah.
that's the way we are. We're
I love
faithful.
Because we're not the brightest.
love
Exactly. So as long as even when it's season 41 or when I come back in my third life,
yeah.
imagine that. I could come back. You said by 5 I'll have my powers. I'll do a podcast by myself and I'll steal all the songs.
Yeah.
And I'll
Wow.
steal all your hypotheticals and I won't know how to produce
No,
it.
you won't know.
I won't have any information. Megan, thanks so much for coming. Best of luck in
guys.
your podcasting career.
Yes.
I'm sorry that Puffy spoiled the end of The Bachelor for you.
It's all right. I'll get over it eventually.
And us Ravens stick together. So you ever need anything, you know I'm here, okay?
Gotcha.
That was what's your last name? I didn't even say.
Sibley.
Sib-
Sibley.
Sibley?
Yep.
Megan
That's it.
Sibley.
Megan Sibley.
Was that our first guest this year?
Yeah.
In
it might have
studio,
been.
yeah.
She beat Eric Stone Street.
100%.
See you
We
next
did
week.
have Jeff O'Neill in.
We did have Jeff O'Neill in studio, didn't we?
Yes.
Megan was better. See you next week on the Rubber Boots Pod. Do we need to keep reading these, or are we just inviting ourselves to kill our ratings? Because people are just going to keep putting
No one's. This isn't killing ratings.
That bright-eyed Dougie.
Damn you, Bright.
Son of a gun.
But I mean, if it's fair marking, we do 3 hours of podcast and it gets cut down to an hour.
Yeah, this is a good lesson for Megan.
Yep.
We're going to be here podcasting until about 9:30 p.m. and it'll be a 41-minute version.
I have lots of feelings about that, but I will not discuss.
Yeah, I don't think you should.
Thank you.
That's horrendous.
Well, there goes that chunk of the podcast.
That's gone.
How are ya? I got a question that I really wanna ask ya. Wait, don't hang up. I need to know, so I'm gonna try and push my luck. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, or black or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Do you like the dunk tank at the fair? Oh, I know it's a little strange, but my obsession with your choice of footwear in the rain. And I know that you're on TV
They have no idea which way it'll go.